Thutmose III. Thutmose III was a pharaoh of the Egyptian Empire. Thutmose turned Egypt into an expansionist empire, conquering the Levant, which is modern-day Israel, Palestine, Syria, and Lebanon. He crossed the Euphrates River to defeat the Mitannians. Thutmose also made Egypt a much more prosperous country. He also built more temples and obelisks. Cyrus the Great. Cyrus the Great was the king of the Achaemenid Empire, also known as the Persian Empire. Cyrus the Great expanded the empire from just parts of modern-day Iran and Turkey, all the way to the Balkans, the Levant, Arabia, and the Indus Valley. Cyrus the Great was the founder of what we know as the Achaemenid Empire. The Achaemenid Empire fell when Alexander conquered it. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was the son of Philip II of Macedon. Alexander begun his campaign against the Persians in 334 BC. He cut the Gordian knot, which is declared as a sign that he will rule all of Asia. He swiftly conquered Anatolia, the Levant, Egypt. Then he moved his army towards the east into Babylon and Persia. Alexander the Great marked the end of the Achaemenid Empire, and King Darius III was killed. Alexander continued to live his life until he died in 323 BC in Babylon. He most likely died from malaria or typhoid fever. After his death, the empire began to quickly crumble, as he didn't have a successor, so his generals and elites fought for the role of king. Ashoka the Great. Ashoka was the emperor of the Mauryan Empire, an empire that Chandragupta Maurya founded. He conquered parts of eastern India. His empire stretched from parts of modern-day Pakistan and Afghanistan all the way to Bangladesh. Hannibal Barca. Hannibal Barca was a general of the Carthaginian Empire during the Second Punic Wars against the Roman Republic. The Second Punic Wars started with Hannibal's act on Saguntum, an Iberian ally of Rome. Hannibal crossed the Pyrenees and Alps mountains. The Alps are mountains that separate modern-day Italy from the rest of Europe. In the end, Hannibal lost the war, but that does not mean he wasn't a great general and conqueror. He died from poisoning. Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was the dictator of the Roman Republic. He rose to fame through his alliance called the First Triumvirate with Crassus and Pompey, who were very influential in Rome at the time. Caesar conquered Gaul and parts of Anatolia and much more. His rule led to the birth of the Roman Empire, as after he was assassinated by Roman senators, there was a great civil war between his son Octavian and Mark Antony. His son Octavian won the civil war and became emperor of the Roman Empire. He is now known as Augustus Caesar. Augustus Caesar. Augustus Caesar, also known as Octavian, was the adopted son of Julius Caesar. He expanded the Roman Empire into Egypt, parts of Iberia, and even lands in the Levant, such as Judea, in 6 AD. Augustus brought the end of the Roman Civil War and brought Rome into an age of prosperity and played a huge role in shaping the future emperors of the empire. Attila the Hun. Attila the Hun was the leader of the Hunnic Empire. He sacked over 70 cities across the Balkans and Greece. Belisarius. Belisarius was a general of the Byzantine Empire, also known as the Eastern Roman Empire, which was the continuation of the Roman Empire. Belisarius helped the Emperor Justinian reconquer parts of Iberia and North Africa. He reconquered Sicily, and in the autumn of 537 AD, he took Naples and marched on Rome. He helped lead the Byzantine Empire into an empire that lasted hundreds of years longer, until in 1453, when it finally ended. He conquered the Vandals in North Africa and conquered much of Italy during the Gothic War. He also defeated Vandals in the Battle of Ad Decimum. Belisarius is known as one of the greatest generals in history and one of the most underrated generals in history. Charlemagne. Charlemagne was the founder of the Holy Roman Empire, an empire that lasted 844 years from 962 AD to 1806 AD, when Napoleon invaded. Charlemagne helped bring Christianity to Europe and brought in what is known as the Carolingian Renaissance. This was a period of increased cultural activity and the rise of literacy, architecture, and scriptural studies. Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was the first Khan of the Mongol Empire. Genghis Khan founded the Mongol Empire through his conquests of parts of China, Russia, and Central Asia. Genghis Khan was by no means a peaceful conqueror, though. He brought absolute hell to his enemies. It is estimated that he caused around 40 million deaths and reduced the world's population by 11%. Tamerlane. Tamerlane, also named as Timur, founded what is known as the Timurid Empire. His empire started in modern-day Uzbekistan and expanded into parts of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Azerbaijan, Iraq, Syria, Armenia, and even parts of Russia, Pakistan, Georgia, and Anatolia. Tamerlane died in 1405, and it is said that his tomb was cursed, and whoever disturbs his tomb will face a great calamity. The Soviets opened his tomb, and soon after the Germans invaded their country. So, was it a curse or just a big coincidence? Mehmed II. Mehmed II was the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire. He conquered Constantinople in 1453, marking the end of the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire. He expanded the Ottoman Empire into the Balkans. He declared himself Caesar Rum, which means Roman Caesar. He led the Ottomans to becoming an empire that would dominate the Eastern Mediterranean Sea and the Balkans for centuries. Hernan Cortes. Hernan Cortes was a Spanish conquistador who defeated the Aztec Empire with only 800 at the Battle of Tenochtitlan and helped shape the Spanish Empire into a mighty empire that controlled most of South America, Central America, Mexico, and more. We do have to keep into account that the Spanish conquistadors did spread diseases to the natives in America. However, these things happen a lot in many other wars in history. Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte was the founder and emperor of the French Empire. He introduced the Napoleonic Code, which is used in many modern countries today. He invaded Italy and defeated the coalitions 5 times. The coalitions were enemies of Napoleon. The coalitions included countries like the Austrian Empire, Russian Empire, British Empire, Kingdom of Spain, Kingdom of Naples, and many more. Napoleon's ambition eventually stabbed him in the back in the end, though. He was exiled to the small island of St. Helena where he lived out his last days. Otto von Bismarck. Otto von Bismarck was the Chancellor of Prussia, and later the German Empire. He helped unify Germany through conquests and wars. He defeated the Austrians, and instead of harshly punishing them, he brought them to his side as allies, which would later help Germany in World War I. He defeated the Danish in the Second Schleswig War. He led to the Prussians winning the Franco-Prussian War, which led to the complete unification of Germany and the German colonization of parts of Africa. Adolf Hitler. Despite being known as a leader who did awful things to the civilizations and the Jewish people, the German Reich did conquer a lot of countries such as Belgium, Netherlands, France, Denmark, Norway, and many Eastern European countries. Despite conquering so many countries, he was an evil leader who led to the death of tens of millions of people. In World War II, the German Reich had 13.6 million soldiers that served their country. The Germans fought with their allies Italy and other countries for 6 years, from 1939 to 1945, when they fell to Allied forces. After World War II, there was something called the Cold War, which was conflict between the capitalist West and the communist East. It wasn't actually a war, but more like high tensions between the two. The modern world we live in is a result of the actions of the past. So what do you think? In your opinion, who is the best conqueror in history? Is it someone that isn't even on this list? Comment below and make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. Goodbye.